Okay, I just want to start off with this video might offend everyone. Everyone, because in my opinion, everything's fucked. It's just pure chaos at this point. This is my fifth try to do this video because every time I try to do it, I just become super emotional, super ranty, and I just need to calm down and just try my best to convey how I feel because I feel very strongly about this whole fucked up thing that's been happening with George Floyd. And I live in the UK, but George Floyd incident does reach here because the UK and the US, whether we like it or not, we're linked. So the events that happen in the US will affect in the UK, and the events in the UK will affect the US. It is what it is. And I just want to start off with this. The one word that comes to my mind in this whole situation is chaos. Absolute chaos. Because when George Floyd video appeared, unanimously, everyone from the left and right of the spectrum agreed that this is absolutely horrible. This is absolutely horrible. And then, to my surprise, things just went downhill from there. I mean, look, I'm seeing All Lives Matter versus Black Lives Matter, which drives me absolutely insane because it feels like the two groups are talking amongst each other. And I understood Black Lives Matter. Look, when people say Black Lives Matter, they don't mean to say, oh, any other life that's lost from a different race, they don't matter. That's not what they mean. From my understanding, it just means they're just specifically focusing on black lives that have been lost through police brutality. Now, if an incident happens that affects white people, for example, and then white people starts to come together and they say, white lives matter. As a black man, I would agree. I would just be like, yes, white lives matter. Because that's the mentality I have. Because the mentality I have, look, all lives do matter. But if a group specifically targets or just emphasizes their own grievances of their own, like, for example, Black Lives Matter, I'm fine with that. Because if white people do the same thing, I am fine with that. I mean, it will be a different story if white people start to unify and say white lives matter, then black people have a problem with it. They can't do that. They absolutely can't do that. So this Black Lives versus All Lives, it's just a mess, and it's so fucking stupid. And that's the thing that's the first thing that I saw. And then the protest happens, which I 100% could get behind. Because honestly, in my opinion, this police brutality stuff, it should have been addressed ages ago. If I'm going to be completely honest. And the way that the people involved, the police involved, they wasn't arrested at that spot, it baffles me. Because if anyone else did that, like if I did that to a policeman, I would be arrested on the spot. But for them, they had to get fired first and then arrested. And it took like a couple of days. And it was just like, what? Like there's something flawed within the police system that has to be addressed. And the protest, I 100% agree with that. 100%. Because at this time, from the way I see, the police right now, it feels more like a brotherhood rather than protecting and serving the people. To some extent, I do understand it, but there's no excuses for it. Like, I could imagine, like, if you were a cop and you see your best friend die, and you see your best friend die again and again, and you get screwed up from where people are calling you pigs and stuff like that, and it forms this brotherhood where you guys look after each other. I get that. But that's not an excuse. I mean, you took an oath, for God's sake, to protect and serve the people, so you can't do this. That video was extremely hard to watch. Really hard to watch. A guy was on the floor, a knee on the neck. This Asian dude was telling everyone to back off. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible, and it needs to be addressed. I'm surprised that it wasn't addressed sooner. So I 100% agree with the protest. But the one thing that I will never get behind, that I'm jumping off the train, the one thing that I am 100% against is rioting and looting. That will only cause chaos, and innocent people are getting hurt by it. Some innocent people are getting killed by this, white and black. And here's the thing, I'm seeing a lot of people trying to rationalize this. I'm seeing a lot of people trying to rationalize riots and looting, even though innocent people are getting hurt. Because here's the thing. When George Floyd died, there was no buts. There was no rationalizing. And anyone who attempted to rationalize his death or instantly cut off. George Floyd died, but everyone is hurt by police brutality. White people are hurt by police brutality. All lives matter. No. Don't come at me with this. Don't rationalize this. What happened was an injustice. Pure and simple. But I'm seeing a lot of people using that same tactic with this with this rioting thing. I'm seeing a lot of people doing that. What was this? I saw someone say rioting is necessary because in the past rioting does work. And the funny thing is, they say that rioting, they could pick examples where rioting does work, but they completely ignore where the rioting doesn't work. How many times have we seen where rioting doesn't work and it just causes destruction and sometimes death? You don't see them picking those out, but you see them picking the ones that do work, even though innocent people are getting hurt. Because that's the thing. At this point in time, George Floyd was innocent, right? He was killed by a cop. He was innocent. There was no rationalizing anything. There was no excuses. But then I'm seeing the same people are making excuses for this, even though innocent people are getting hurt. Now, for example, there was a black businessman, right? He got hurt by this. He lost everything. And it was heartbreaking. You could see him cry. He was crying. He's like, why are they attacking me? Thank God for the internet, because they funded him back. But as it stands, that's not good. You're scum if you think that this is acceptable. And the other thing is that I saw people making this argument is insurance. I cannot believe people are rationalizing this. Insurance. Oh, they have insurance, so it's fine. Really? And here's the thing. These same people are trying to rationalize this, right? Saying that it needs to happen. But when you actually start to take the argument and flip it on them, notice how they go quiet. They say, oh, rioting needs to happen. Oh, okay, imagine if it comes to your house. Imagine if it's your stuff. You wouldn't be happy then, would you? People are using this argument of insurance. First off, you don't even know what insurance they have. But let's just say it covers everything, right? It covers everything. As if they're not going to have to pay it back eventually. But of course, they're insured, so it's fine. Okay? Alright, so let's take that. What about your shit? What if you have car insurance? What if your PS4 or your house, you got home insurance? Look, I could destroy that. It's fine. You have insurance. Let me damage your car. Let me set your car ablaze. Let me set your home ablaze. Yeah, you're insured, so it's fine. Do not come at me with that stupid logic. Do not come at me with that dumbass argument. Because people could still be hurt by this. People could still be emotionally hurt by this. So don't come at me with this whole insurance nonsense. And again, I'm getting upset. Because the reason why I'm getting upset, because, again, a person had died. I'm pretty sure multiple people had died, but this is the one that's getting the headline here. It's a 77-year-old cop, a black cop. His name was David Dorn. And, oh, God, I'm trying not to be emotional. It is heartbreaking, because there is a video out there of his... I cannot believe people are making rational... Oh, God. I'm seeing people say, oh, yes, writing is bad. I understand. No, I don't understand. No, don't even think about rationalizing this. Don't even think about... I watched a video, right, of a looter. They all of them, they just break into Nike. And this woman just carrying clothes and trainers, and she had this black lady, she had this huge smile on her face. They were all so happy. They were just breaking shit. You guys don't give a damn about George Floyd. You guys don't even give a damn about George Floyd. Don't come at me with this. And David Dorn, his death, it was just like George. It was hard to watch because his body was on the floor, and there were a lot of black folks around. And there was this one guy who was recording. He was screaming. He was just saying, "We're better than this." Blah, blah. And guess what? And you could see them, black folks in the car. Guess what? They all jumped in their car and just drove off. They all jumped in their car and drove off, except for that one guy, maybe one other guy that was there. But his dead body was just lying in the street. And news reports say he was killed by a looter. What happened to Black Lives Matter then? People like to scream this. But when push comes to shove, watch how they disappear. Black Lives Matter. Oh, but when it's another black guy that doesn't fit the narrative, it doesn't matter. This is what's breaking my heart with this whole thing. Is that people will do crazy stuff as long as it fits their narrative. Because I was all for the protests, because we were getting somewhere. Left and right. People from the left and right were uniting under this issue. And then this happened. The rioting, and people were making excuses of it. People were saying why it should happen. People saying what I've seen memes online where people are like, "Oh, it needs to. It's part of a protest. It needs to happen." No, it doesn't. And I've seen videos where innocent people are being beaten. I've seen people do the most inhumane crime. So let me get this straight. Everyone I'm assuming in the Anglosphere, we are upset and appalled by the event because an innocent man was killed. So your logic is to go on a rampage and hurting other innocent people? Really? That's like imagine your house is getting broken in and your stuff was taken and your pet was killed. That's like me then going to my neighbor, breaking his house down and killing him and breaking all of his shit. Instead of actually going after the people who done it. It blows my mind. It's absolutely depressing. It really is depressing. I have never seen racial relations just drop like this. Isn't this whole goal is to save black lives? Hey, we need to save this black life. Oh, let's just riot. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then now this other black life was taken. I'm even including the innocent people's lives that were taken in the streets. All races, black, white, it doesn't matter. Because there's some innocent white people that had nothing to do with this. And it really, really is heartbreaking. And I don't know why this is acceptable. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure people remember this. There was this 3 black individuals kidnapped one white guy. And he tortured him. And I remember CNN, this blew my mind. I think Don Lemon, he was like, "I don't think this is evil. I just think it's bad home training," or whatever he said. And I'm just like, imagine if white people started to like riot over that. Everyone would unanimously be like, "Okay, that's wrong. This is you can't just riot over this. It's terrible. But you can't just riot and destroy other people's lives like this." But for some reason, with this, it's being looked over. It doesn't produce anything. And here is what I think. And this is what I mean. I'm going to offend anyone. What's the goal here? The goal here is to what? Save black lives, right? If that's the goal, then the 2 things I see that needs to be addressed, and this is going to piss people off. One, of course, is the police. They need to remove this brotherhood mentality. They need to remove this. Look, there are just some people that should not be cops. At all. There are some people that should not be cops. And of course, there are racist cops. Of course, there are stupid cops that should not be cops. And this has to be addressed. Especially, and again, the police brutality. This needs to be addressed. But what also needs to be addressed is the black community. There is something I don't know what. There is something deep inside the black community that is very toxic. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. But no one wants to talk about it because it's very uncomfortable to talk about. One of them is black on black crime. Because think about it. Even if you fix the police, if you fix the cops, it's reformed. There's no racist cops. There's no cops that are brutal. They don't abuse their power. Black people are still gonna die, and that's the truth. Because black on black crime, the numbers are absolutely insane. Is absolutely insane. And if Black Lives Matter, if they do matter, this needs to be addressed. Because there's this cultures of no snitch. I just don't understand it. So a white cop kills a black guy. Not even a white cop. Just a white person kills a black guy. People are up in arms. But a black guy kills a black guy. Oh, it's fine. Oh, no snitching, guys. No snitching. Really? Really? And again, is this mentality, I don't know where it came from, but it needs to stop. If Black Lives Matter, if the goal is to save black lives, these two things need to be addressed. Because you can't fix one and not fix the other. If you fix one of them, the problem won't be solved. Even if you somehow fix the problem with the black community, like no snitching or people calling each other's Uncle Tom just because you disagree with them. That's the other thing. Even if you fix that, the police brutality thing is still going to happen. So, two sides, there's a table in the middle. Two sides need to come together in that table and fix this. If saving black lives is the goal, this has to be done. And the consequence of that is just not only just save black lives, but then all other people that are suffering from police abuse. Because this can't go on. And the death of David Dorn, it just solidifies this thing in me. There is a problem. Deep problem with the two camps. The police and the black community. And it needs to be addressed. It has to be addressed. Also, it makes me sick how these companies involve themselves. I mean, really, do you expect me to believe that you guys care? Alright, case in point, Disney. I'm using Disney as an example. They, released the tweet, the black background, and they were saying, we stand behind black people, we stand behind our black employees, we stand behind black creators, Black Lives Matter. And I'm just like, really, Disney? This is coming from the same company that wiped away Finn, a black character, from the Chinese market poster. Really? Fuck off. Don't come at me with this shit. Really? Disney? You're for black people, you're for black creators. Yeah. Hey guys, we're for black people, we're for black creators, we're for our black actors that work under us. Black Lives Matter. Unless it's in conflict with the Chinese. We don't support black lives. But generally we do. But when it comes to the Chinese market, we don't. We clearly don't. Fuck off.